All right, hi everybody, John Meadows. It's been a while since we've done a little video. I was asked a question yesterday that really made me think. And the question was, why are the local shows not doing so well in bodybuilding? So why are there less competitors at the state and local level in bodybuilding? Because there's a huge drop off once you get below the national level in the number of competitors. And that's not the case, obviously, with the new divisions. So I thought about that, and I thought about my own experience. And when I was 12 years old, I remember there was 2 gyms in the town I grew up in. I went to the first gym, and they said, "You're not old enough, get out of here." So there was one other gym. I went to the next gym, and they said, "Well, you have to be 13 to come in here." And I said, "Well, I'm 13. I was only 12. So they let me join. So I was very excited, and I remember walking in, and I remember seeing a guy doing skull crushers with 2 45-pound plates on each end of an easy curl bar. And long story short, there were a lot of what I perceived at the time to be big, strong bodybuilders. Fast forward a few years, I started training at World Gym in Columbus, Ohio on East Livingston, which used to be kind of the premier gym here in Columbus. So, I walk in and there's all these big powerlifters and bodybuilders. There's pictures on the wall of all the competitors. And as a young guy, you walk in, that's who you want to emulate. You see, there was a guy named Nick Bowman. He used to deadlift and compete, or he used to powerlift and bodybuild in competitions on the same day. The same day. So there were some phenomenal guys, and there was a guy there named Mark O'Hara who was a really successful competitor. And Mark kind of took me under his wing. He was like, "Hey man, this little white kid's got some potential." So he was really good to me. And that's who I wanted to be like. I wanted to be like Mark and Nick and all these big dudes, these monsters. I wanted my picture on the wall. And I trained to make that happen. I trained year after year after year after year to make that happen. Now, what do you see when you walk into gyms now? You don't see anything. You see good equipment, but you don't see all the big guys at most gyms. You don't see pictures on the wall. I mean, there's very few gyms that still do that. And I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I'm just saying this is how the environment is now. So people now, what they do to get inspiration is they go to Instagram and Facebook, which we're doing right now. And they see all these physique competitors on Facebook and Instagram, and that's what they want to emulate. And I don't think it's a good or a bad thing. I just think that's just the way it is. But if a guy in the 90s, physique guy for instance, would have walked into the gym, pulled his shirt up and started flexing his abs in the mirror, the bodybuilders would have grabbed him and thrown him out. Now, they probably would have gave him a broken jaw. Now, people are looking for reasons to throw the big guys out of the gym. You're a big animal, we don't want people like you here. So the culture is very different. And I miss those days of going into the gym and seeing people's pictures on the wall. I mean, that was my goal. I wanted to have my picture on the wall, World Gym. That's what I wanted. And that's what I strive for. And so I just think as you go into gyms now, the cultures are so different. That's kind of what creates less bodybuilding competitors, more physique competitors. You combine that with social media, and I think a lot of the physique stuff now is driven completely by social media. Whereas back in the old days, you wanted to be in magazines, you wanted to be the biggest guy in the gym, you wanted to work out with the biggest guys. It was just a different mindset. You did it for different reasons. And again, I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. I just wanted to give you my perspective. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been training for a long time, like me, can relate. You've been to those gyms that don't really exist anymore. So just some food for thought for today. That's it.